Okay, we need to talk about
Taylor Duggar.
Taylor Duggar.
So today we are talking about Taylor Duggar. I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown synopsis, and then I'm going to play a whole bunch of videos from victims of Taylor's. Now, Taylor Duggar is in her, I would say, like mid-20s. She lives in Georgia. Other than that, don't know a ton about her. She's married. She has 2 kids. However, that is not what she tells the love interests, with an S, in her life. So Taylor, while she is kind of a catfish, she's also kind of not really. She starts dating a whole bunch of people. Women, trans men, and I think actually that's just kind of it. Like, she dates women that are into other women. She dates lesbians. She dates women to female to male men. Now, the only reason I really point that out and kind of elaborate just a little bit on that and make sure that it's clear is because it really genuinely seems like she targets the LGBTQ plus community. And I feel like Taylor really tries to play up resenting men, and that is kind of how she is able to trap her victims or kind of get them to fall in love with her. That's just an assumption on my part. I'm not totally sure, but it was just something I thought about because I was like, you know, it's weird. I don't believe we've had a biologically born male come forward and talk about this. Taylor's husband, however, is now aware of the situation and fully believes her lies. However, her family does not. So what Taylor would do is she would tell that these people, like, once, you know, they started talking and whatnot, she would tell them that her daughter is a product of grape. I don't want to say the real word because I think it'll get my video taken down or demonetized, so I can't really say that. Said that her husband had slashed her tires, that they were separated, that they were going through a divorce, that she was really just kind of down on her luck. All these really kind, caring people would send her money, all except for the very first person that came out about this. Luckily, they never did. I believe they said Taylor got about over $50,000. Now, as far as like the timeline on where these all line up when they all started dating her is, I'm not totally sure, but I'm going to show you Arizona's videos. They were the first one to come out and talk about Taylor. So here's kind of all of their videos that they've posted about this topic.
So here's a story about how I think I got catfished by a girl. Okay. I had this girl on my Snapchat for over a year and a half, and we were talking, and we were just friends. And then recently she was like, hey, I have some interest in you. And I'm like, hey, I would love to meet up with you and see if we have a connection. Mind you, I live in Montana. She lives in Georgia. So I was like, hey, we need to meet first. So on Thursday, she sent me a text message with a picture of 2 flights. One coming here, one going back, and said that she had booked flights and that she would be here on Thursday night. And I was like, oh, wow, that, like, wasn't talked about. That's okay. So she says she's gonna fly here. So then she says that on her way to the airport, her transmission went out in her truck and that she is gonna delay her flight because she missed it. And she's gonna get on another flight and she's gonna be here on Friday morning. Here's receipts for this.
Yeah, what? It's just, well, I was thinking this for a while. Going to the world.
So, mind you, I'm just being nice and saying, like, take care of that and come another time if you need to. Hold on. So then she sends her rebook flight. And this is how this conversation went. Mind you, I don't believe anything at this point. She already made up an excuse about a transmission blowing up. I don't think that this girl's coming, and I think she's a catfish, right? Hold on. So she gets here, apparently. She says she got a rental car because I was at work. I'm at work till 10 o'clock. She lands. She says she got an Airbnb, which was like 2 hours away from where I live. The airport that she supposedly flew into was 2 hours from where I was, which was fine. I could have accommodated that because it is one of the best airports to go to when you're in Montana because we don't have a whole lot of choices. So I get off work at 10 o'clock and I'm like, hey girl, where are you? What's up? Like, how's the Airbnb? Where are you? Ghosts for 4 hours. No reply. Finally get a text at 2 in the morning and she's like, hey, I'm super tired. Like, can we just meet up in the morning? I think that would be best. Like, jet lag is a real thing. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Saturday morning rolls around. I'm not working. I have the weekends off. And I text her and I'm like, hey girl, where are you? Like, let's meet up. Like, what's up? Are you actually here? Like, let's meet up. These are the following messages. Okay, so here are some of the text messages of her basically saying that she was.
Don't be too loud, Peter. No. Wait for me. Now that's required.
And so after requesting her location multiple times and asking where she is so we can meet up, I'm kind of over it at this point. I'm just upset, and I'm just like, wow, you're like, why would you waste my time and waste your time at this point? But like, I kind of knew up to this point that that was like a lie, you know? But I was just seeing if she was actually going to meet up with me and if she was really here. So these are the things that she...
One time, and be up there. Yeah, everything is big.
I'm still here asking for a direct location, and she's just not budging, right? I told her I had camping plans and that I wasn't going to end my camping plans if I didn't know what was going on between the two of us. This is me continuing to say, hey, like, I'm over it. And she's like, if I was playing games with you, why would I be playing games with you when this was my idea to come here? Like, girl, I don't know. You tell me, the fuck? Which, that one's already been shown, but that's just the level of crazy. So here I am telling her, like, a location that I was going to be at, and she's still just never showed up, not showing up. Wait until you see these next ones. Now I've apparently hurt her feelings, and she feels invalidated. We know at this point that she's not here, right? So then we're Snapchatting, and she sends me this ridiculous-ass message, acting like she's in some Airbnb, and I've been mean to her because I've been asking for her location because I don't believe she's here, and I called her a catfish. That's apparently a picture of the Airbnb. Obviously, this is all very much a lie, so I blocked her. Today, she hit me up on TikTok, and she was like, hey, you blocked me. And I was like, sure did, because no thank you. And she called my phone on, because I, like, unblocked her number, and I was like, please stop. She called my phone and told me that she never lied, she's telling the truth, and what does she have to do to prove to me that she's here? I'm like, I don't know, send confirmation, how do you come to Montana and you didn't take a single picture of the mountains or anything around you? Like, please go ahead and enlighten me how you have no pictures of the airport, you have no confirmation, you have none of your flight information, none of your boarding passes. Like, how do you not have that, right? Hold on a second. So when I ask for the Airbnb confirmation while we're talking on the phone, up above, you can see that we were on the phone for 16 minutes while she's still denying the fact that she lied to me. This is what she sends me. Not even a confirmation number, just a receipt. But she could have gotten a receipt in Atlanta for an Airbnb, or she could have been doing whatever the hell she's been doing besides wasting my time. You know what I mean? And then it gets better. I told her that I was going to call her out for being a catfish on the internet because nobody deserves to go through this. And like, I am smarter to know that this was all a lie, but somebody else might not be smart enough to know that this is a lie. And she sends me a cease and desist letter that's not even legal to use because it needs to come from the courts. So this shit got wild. She found me on my email to message me on an email and basically begged me not to make a TikTok. Hold on a second. Mind you, she's making the cease and desist letter before I even go and make this TikTok for you guys. Like, she's literally making all this shit up in her head before I even decided to call her out on TikTok. But here you go. From harassment, when you literally catfished me and told me you were in my town and lied to me. I think that's... And now you're harassing me through email, so I think the one being harassed is me because you've harassed me on TikTok, you have used other numbers to contact me, and now you're emailing me because I blocked you? That's next level. Crazy, girl. Like, what the fuck? Mind you, now, she has told me that her Airbnb, from where I live, is 39 minutes. The county that she supposedly is in and got this Airbnb in, you can't get there in 39 minutes, no matter which direction you go, because the town is actually 2 hours away. So I don't know what kind of shit she's making up in her brain, but it ain't real. So I went to go look for her on Facebook because I didn't have her on Facebook. I had her on all other social media platforms, and I couldn't find her. So I grabbed my friend's phone, and I looked her up. Obviously, she's very locked down, as if she's catfish, right? But I've seen pictures of her through Snapchat, so maybe she's got a friend pretending to be her, or whatever the case is, this whole thing's wild and it's alive, right? So for proof, Gallatin County, Bowdoin, Montana, is 1 hour and 48 minutes. That's if there's not road construction, right? So, can't bullshit a bullshitter because I drive there all the time, because I also fly out of that airport, so please quit lying. I'm sorry, can we just take another look at this? Please look at this. Nobody puts lotion and Kleenex in the back of an Airbnb like that. Girl, you typed that location at the bottom from the comfort of your own motherfucking home. Girl, we ain't stupid around here. We're from Montana, you're from Georgia. We know that you're next level stupid, but we're not. So, long story short, if you think you're being catfished by a girl, and she might be this girl, her name's Taylor Duggar, and she does have a TikTok account, and she's a school teacher, and this is next level crazy. She told me that I'm putting her kids at risk by making this TikTok. I'm not. This is from my own personal experience, but if y'all know her, please feel free to tag her or, say something to your girl, because she wildin' out here, and she wasting way too much of her own time and my own time over some next level bullshit, saying that she was in Montana when she never really was. So, feel free to say what you need. Good morning, sunshine. Part 2. Please excuse that I look like garbage, because I just woke up to all of these crazy messages. Okay, you guys. This is crazy. Hold on. Okay, so after I made this video, I had went to sleep because I have to work today. So, at 5 in the morning, what is it? 5:05. 5:05 in the morning, I got a call from a no-caller ID, which was her. I answered it, and I'm like, I thought maybe it could have been a cop, I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? No, it was her. And she's like, hi, I'm with Rome County Police Department, and there's a cop next to me, and he just wanted to talk to you. I'm like, okay, let me talk to him. She starts screaming at me, doesn't let me talk to this supposed cop, okay? So I'm like, yeah, I'm down to talk to this guy, whatever. And she doesn't let me talk to him. She's just screaming at me, crying on the phone, begging me to delete this TikTok. I'm like, no, what I'm doing is not illegal. You're a catfish. I don't want anything to do with you, okay? Hold on. Not only did she call me and wake me up, but at 5 in the morning, and then you want to tell me that I'm harassing you and you're calling me off of a no-caller ID. Girl, that is next level crazy. In case you didn't get to see it, hold on. I think there's 8 there. Jesus Lord. So while I'm sleeping, I received this letter. I just woke up, so I just got it. And that's basically her begging for another cease and desist letter, but not realizing that it needs to come from the court itself if she believes I'm harassing her. Okay, then it gets even more weird. So everybody's liking and sharing my TikTok and just hey, I need part 2, this is next level crazy. And I get this message on TikTok this morning when I wake up. Obviously, I'm not going to reveal the person's name or face because I feel like they don't deserve that. But, yeah, I got this and I was like, whoa, okay. Tell me more. I'm invested. So currently this is where we're sitting. Taylor hasn't called me in a couple of hours, obviously. And she has been emailing me. Here's more of that email thread. So here's where she sent the cease and desist letter again. And this is just what she's saying because I posted this on TikTok and she's saying that it's slander. This is my response to this. Also sent with the no caller ID. So, one second. This is her admitting that she called me from no caller ID and pretended like she had a cop with her and pretended to be law enforcement when she wasn't. She's saying I'm making false accusations and lying about what she did to me, but none of this is a lie. I've shown up with receipts. Where are hers? I did submit all of this to Catfish, and I did get a hold of a guy, and he told me that he would call me back and let me know, or email me with more information on if we can go forward with this story. Here's proof of that. You can't really see it, but yeah. I'm really invested on what this gal said when she messaged me. Like, she hasn't messaged me back, but I'm really invested on what she's going to say about Taylor dating her friend. I also did go on to Cash App and other places and typed in Taylor's number just to see if she is that true person that she says she is, which she is, I mean, or whatever. Like I said, I looked it up and it showed up. And obviously I do have more pictures of Taylor, so I'm not exactly sure if, like, she has a friend catfishing me or she's just doing this for her own fun. But, like, I knew this was a lie the whole time. I just think that it's funny that she's mad because I'm calling her out for it.
TikTok world, what's up? No, I'm not using AI for my voice anymore. This is what I sound like. I sound like shit because I'm losing my voice. But let's talk about part 4 of Taylor Duggar series. So we have another victim who kind of wants to remain anonymous right now, which is fine. She might come out of the woodworks at some point. But she told me that she's been talking to Taylor for some months. I don't know how many months, but some months. And she has sent her $4,600. So now we have $26,000, $4,600. And then she tried to get money out of me and it never worked. Let's talk about the fact that this has blown up. Thank you guys so much. This is crazy. Like, I never thought I was going to get this far. But let's talk about the fact that Taylor was not in the hospital because she had bad blood count. She was in the hospital because she had a baby who was 2 months old. And it's confirmed that she's still married. And we found out that she has another Facebook account that's listed under Taylor Duggar McLeod, which is what her husband's last name is because she's still married. But yeah, that's the update that I have right now. I've had tons of people come out of the woodwork and tell me that she has been talking to them also. So we're going to come up with some screenshots here in a second. Obviously, I'm going to crop the names out because I don't want other people to, like, message those people if they want to remain anonymous. But this is crazy. All the duets, all of the messages and responses. I'm trying to get back to all of you guys for the most info that I have, but like, there's so many of you guys, and I got over 15,000 followers in like 24 hours. So I have a ton of DMs. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I have changed all my other social media to private because some of you guys have gotten a little weird. But only thing I ask is that if you guys know Taylor Duggar or whatever, please don't post her address and don't show up to her house. That's a little far, you know. Unfortunately, yes, she did what she did, and we are fully capable of calling her out and doing whatever and saying whatever you'd like. But please just do not post her address or show up to her house. Like that's a little crazy, and that's just a safety issue that I don't want to ever happen. I don't want her to be harmed in any way. I just want everybody to be aware that she has multiple boyfriends and girlfriends, and obviously there needs to be awareness so nobody else gets hurt. But also, she needs to humble herself a little because, let's be real, this is pretty fucking crazy. So this is just one of them. Girl, what? This is crazy. Like, how many girlfriends you got? How'd you let that happen, girl? Girl, one was enough. We love you, but one was enough. Okay, so the one girl that is messaging me that wants to remain anonymous is giving me a lot of information. They are talking and still actively talking, and she's saying that I'm doing this all for clout. I just want to let you guys know that this is all very true information, and I'm not doing this for clout. I didn't even expect this to blow up. It just kind of did. Also, she's not a school teacher. We did find out that the address that she gave us is incorrect, which We kind of assumed that. She's very well still married. So factually, apparently, now see, this is where it gets a little weird. You know what I'm saying? So some gal messaged me on TikTok this morning and told me that her kid got hurt the other day and Taylor was her x-ray tech. So I'm not sure how accurate that information is, but I don't want to not believe this gal. Like, who would lie about that? But then again, you know, we can't trust anybody in this situation anymore. So I told her, I was like, hey, do you have proof? Like, what hospital were you at? Whatever. We're going to get more information from this lady. We're going to see if we can kind of match the pieces, or if maybe this was a different person that she got mistaken, or maybe it really is Taylor and she's lying and scamming people, and she's also an x-ray tech. I don't think she'd be that smart to be an x-ray tech, if you want to know my honest opinion. But, I mean, at this point, we don't know. So, I will update y'all more as it comes. We're going to try to get together a Zoom call so we can put everybody on a Zoom call and try to piece together all of this information that we have, because I feel like there's a lot of like missing pieces, missing puzzle pieces, especially. Like, it's got to all piece together, and it will eventually. But we have more people coming out of the woodwork, and so we're gonna get a Zoom call and we're just gonna put them all on a Zoom, and we're gonna do a whole Taylor Duggar series. And then I'm actually trying to work a way through like a photographer or somebody who's really good so we can do a documentary on this, because it seems like Taylor's been doing this for a really long time, and it also seems like maybe there's more that we don't know about. Anyways, happy Saturday. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I will be working all weekend, but right now I'm about to go shopping so I can get some good outfits picked out for Nashville. So have a good day, guys. Message me with any more information, and don't forget to follow my Instagram at the same username above. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about Taylor Duggar. Okay, really though. So we have an update. What we do know is obviously we have more victims out of the woodwork. That's motherfucking crazy. Also, we know that she's still legally married, and that's been confirmed. We also counted there's more victims, right? So we counted all the money that the victims have sent her over the time. It's at motherfucking $50,000. Shut the fuck up. We could have took a 5-people vacation with that motherfucking money. What the hell? Let's talk about that. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? Still can't wrap my fucking head around that shit. Okay? But we have answers. So, we got a hold of the niece of the husband. Okay? She told us in our live that she attended yesterday that the husband knows. Motherfucker, shut up. The husband knows. The husband motherfucking knows. But let's go into it. Husband knows. Taylor told the husband it's because I blackmailed her. That is why I made these videos. Okay? I'm sorry. I showed up with receipts, and so did all these other motherfucking people. But whatever. Taylor, you're always right, girl. We know you're always right. We're always wrong. You're never wrong. You're always right. So he knows about it. While she was on live, he texted her and told her to get off the live. You gotta be motherfucking kidding me. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Come on, brother. So he believes Taylor. He believes her lies, and he says that he is taking care of it, acting accordingly. What are you gonna do? Go to marriage counseling? I mean, how many people has Taylor been intimate with, if you know what I mean? Like, that's your wife, brother. That's your wife, dude. Like, that's crazy. So he does know, and he believes Taylor, and he doesn't believe us, and he thinks we're lying. But the rest of the family believes us, and they're like, wow. They've been watching these videos, and they're like, damn. Everybody's been asking for an update. This is it. I mean, the husband does know now, and he doesn't care. And so that makes me think, like, you don't care. I mean, you had no suspicion in your mind when all that money was coming into your bank account. You had no idea that this girl was doing this, and you're just saying that you're going to believe everything she said when everybody else got receipts. you got me fucked up. I'd be signing those divorce papers like 67 hours ago. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So either way, Taylor, if you're on here and you've been watching these videos, please just come forward and say something. I mean, give us some answers, girl. At this point, we would just take a motherfucking apology. Like, I would just take an apology so we can move on from this. But you have victims out the woodwork. I mean, I bet you probably have one person in all 50 states. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Alaska and Hawaii were in there. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if Canada and Australia, fuck, maybe even Russia. Like, we don't even know at this point. But this is crazy. And I just wish that you would come forward. We won't even be mean to you. We'll put you on a live. We won't be mean to you. Just come forward. And no, that does not mean call us on a no-caller ID again. Or email us a cease and desist letter because you want to talk to us. That means hop on this, girl. Do edit. Because we know that you've been trolling in the comment section on our lives. That's fine. You've been trolling. It's cool, girl. I would too if my name was being brought around the internet like it is right now. But this all could be ended if you just joined our live. I'm just saying. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. I have a meet and greet happening in Nashville in a week and a half. I will let y'all know where I'm at. Y'all can show up, ask questions, take pictures, hang out, maybe even have a beer with us. Katie said that she's probably going to show up and come let you guys meet her too. Also, one of my moderators is going to be there. So if you guys want an opportunity to meet us, there's that. If you're not far from Tennessee and you're not busy in a week and a half, let us know. Have a good Monday, y'all.
Good afternoon. Please tell me y'all see this shit. Oh my God, everything's blowing up. I don't even have any more updates. Like, people just keep coming out the woodwork and making their own videos. And I'm just over here like, sorry, Taylor. Side note, I did make merch and my t-shirt is going to be done by like tomorrow. And I'm so freaking excited because I cannot wait to wear this in Nashville. Also, we have dates and times that we're going to do that meet and greet. So message me. I'm going to go live when I get to Nashville and everybody can just meet up and say hi. Katie and I are so excited to meet all of you. Sorry I haven't responded to everyone. I've just been taking some time to recoup because unfortunately, as much as I didn't think this Taylor thing was going to bother me, it's starting to finally get to me the more I process it. So the past couple days I've just been taking some time to myself. I did get banned from live, but now I am back up and running. I have a softball game tonight and some firefighting stuff, so I probably won't be going live until a little bit later. But stay tuned for that, and we're going to talk about some more stuff from Taylor Duggar. Also, I'm so ecstatic that Mama Tot made a video. Shut the fuck up. I'm so excited. Anyways, I hope y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Good afternoon. Please tell me y'all see this shit. Oh my God, everything's blowing up. I don't even have any more updates. Like, people just keep coming out the woodwork and making their own videos. And I'm just over here like, sorry, Taylor. Side note, okay, wait. As soon as I posted that other video, I got an update. Girl, Taylor, why the fuck you having your aunt comment on my shit and Heidi's shit? Like, girl, just be honest and come out. Like, we know it's you behind that fucking phone. Like, goddamn. Can you chill? Like, on some real shit, if you would just, like, come out the fucking woodwork and just say something since you're the one hurting all these fucking people, that would be great. But, you know, you're just gonna hide behind a phone because that's what you do. That's what catfish do. They just hide behind phones. Like, come on. For real? Why the fuck you having your family attack us for you? Why can't you do it yourself? You attacked us when you decided to break our hearts and hurt us and take all the money from all the other people. Why can't you just reveal yourself on the internet? Is that hard? It wasn't hard for you to reveal yourself whenever you had 47 fucking boyfriends and girlfriends. But that's none of my business. Okay, wait. As soon as I posted that other video, I got an update. Girl, Taylor, why the fuck you having your aunt comment on my shit and Heidi shit. Like, girl, just be honest and come out. Like, we know it's you behind that fucking phone.
So that just kind of gives you a basis of what is going on. Basically, she just starts dating people. She gets things from them. Now, when I say that she's not really a catfish, I mean she's not really a catfish in the fact that she doesn't lie about who she is and what she looks like. Honestly, she meets up with some of these people. They go on dates. They Snapchat back and forth. Like, and not that it's impossible to, you know, lie and send a photo on, or a fake photo on Snapchat, but, you know, it's a little bit more difficult. So that's what I mean is, like, she actually did meet up with a lot of these people and go on dates. They knew it genuinely was her. Now, while I don't think Taylor is necessarily a catfish, I do wholeheartedly believe that she is a liar and a terrible person for taking advantage of all of these people. And who even knows how many more are out there? Some people have wished to remain anonymous, which I think needs to be respected. But I really just wanted you guys to see all of her victims' videos. These are the ones that I was able to find as of right now. It's Sunday. These are the ones that I got, all their parts, or, you know, they're in chronological order as people posted them and whatnot. So, but yeah, basically Taylor just lied to all these people and got money out of them. She just manipulated people, and she is a horrible person for that. So here are some of the victims' videos.
This is my part one of my Taylor Duggar story. We have been dating for 4 years now. We met, we started talking in 2020, and then it just kind of went from there. But we've been dating for 4 years, and that was us in the mountains, the Smoky Mountains. We went 2 Christmases ago. It was me, her, and 2 of our friends. And she wanted me to propose because that was going to be our 1-year anniversary of dating. And it, you know, I've just got so much more to show you, so hold on. So, this little girl, she told me that this little one was a product of rape. Needless to say, I found out today that everything that she had ever told me was a lie. And actually the husband, the ex-husband, I'm sorry, he is actually still in the picture and is still, I mean, from what I've heard, is actually a great person. But, you know, I don't know, I haven't met him because till, I don't know, 2 hours ago, 3 or 4 hours ago, I didn't know that the husband was still in the picture and still very much a part of the baby's lives. And, are y'all ready? You're not ready. She had another baby. Oh, another one. Another baby. By who? The dad. The same dad that she said she was divorced from. So, yeah, hold on. These pictures you see here was from the night that I asked her to be my girlfriend when she went to my bottom surgery consultation because, yes, I'm transgender. Targeting LGBTQ community? I think so. I think you're right. So, yeah, I'm not even halfway done. So this is just a little tidbit of what is to come, because I have a lot of information and I have a lot to share with everybody, and I am devastated. They were my whole entire world. I actually moved from Alabama to Chattanooga to be closer to Rome, Georgia, and she was actually supposed to move up here June 1st. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Part 2, Taylor Duggar story. So this screenshot that you see, well, of course, I've always wanted to meet him since we first started talking about it. Yeah, well, of course, let's do that. You tell me when. Okay, that sounds amazing. You know, just kind of talking, and oh, I guess I'll see how my appointment goes on Monday and we can go from there. I know this might be too much for you right now, but so if it's just as friends, that's okay. Why would it be too much for me? It's a baby, LOL. So what we're talking about here is when she had her second child, and she told me she was pregnant and that, you know, she still wanted to pursue a relationship, but she was having a baby, so she didn't think I would stick around. But of course I did, because she knows my soft spot is kids. Hold please. This box right here, yeah, that's when I asked her to be my girlfriend. I got her and me a journal that matched, and then I got her a cup that says, it was like, you know, good night, good morning, beautiful, good morning, handsome, because she called me handsome, all that stuff, you know, perfect, just everything perfect, you know, got all kind of stuff in there, like, you know, she loved it. I did a John Legend song. It was perfect. It was perfect. And that's the night that we had a lot of fun for 7 hours. 1 second. So, happy birthday to me, right? She came to my house for my birthday and met all my friends. Yeah, met all of them, even more of my friends than that. You know, she spent the night that night. We had a little fun that night too. You know, it was perfect. She was there for my birthday. She made sure to be there that day. She didn't have the kids. She got a babysitter. Guess we know who that was. Guess that was her husband. So anyway, this is part 2. I've got so much more because it's 4 years in the making. So yeah, tag everybody you know, let people know about this, because she needs to be stopped. And people keep saying stuff about the kids, don't show their face. I'm not showing their face to hurt them. I'm showing their face because I don't believe that they are mentally safe with her. She has done things that I never, ever in my whole entire life thought she would do. And, you know, you could have your feelings on that, but she wanted me to adopt the baby. She told me the dad wasn't on the birth certificate. So, I mean, really, in my mind, that was my baby, because she said our babies. So, for everybody saying, don't post the baby's picture, it's not their fault, it's not their fault. But they need to be saved from this, because it's not fair to them. Anyway, part 3 coming. Okay, so this is definitely not part 3. It's coming a little bit later tonight. But I had to stop filming part 3 to actually receive a package. I was filming, my friend came in and was like, guess who you just got a package from? Taylor Duggar. Wait. So, this is a package that I got today when I was, like I said, recording the 3rd video. But yeah, so my question is from Taylor Duggar, general delivery. I did mark out the rest, but we all know, you know, what it says. And then it has me and then my address, and then I got it priority mail, like, and it says fragile. Well, my heart was fragile, but she broke it anyway. That's beside the point. General delivery, like we haven't known where she lives. Like the people that know her and me for 4 years, we know her address. People have been to her house. So why do all this? But yeah, it's just crazy to me that when she was still trying to keep up this whole story, I told her I needed my equipment back, and 2 or 3 hours later, after everything had kind of revealed itself on TikTok, I get a call saying that she had a witness and that all my stuff was in the mail and it should be there in 2 to 3 business days. And legally, she was okay to have a witness there, because legally, that's what she was legally needed to do, legally. And if any of y'all know her, y'all know that that's something that she likes to say. And you know, she also tries to use mental health against you know, or, you know, she tries to kind of target people that have mental health issues, LGBTQ. Anyway, let me not get into my third video because it's coming. I just needed to share this so y'all can know I'm actually getting mail to my personal house from her. So if none of this is true, then why would I have actual proof that I got today? So this is going to be my part 3 of the Taylor Duggar story. It has been a week today, a little bit later today. I got home from my vacation and I found all this out. Watched, you know, Arizona's TikTok. But anyway, I did have a very close friend help me, you know, write some stuff down, help me kind of sort all this out because it's been a very, very long week. And I'm very tired, but I know everybody's wanting part 3, so I'm just going to kind of start off. And first, I do want to thank everybody out there for all the messages, everything that y'all have sent me in my inbox. I'm trying to respond to everybody, but it's a lot right now. I've got a lot of, you know, healing that I need to do, but I'll get there. So let me start from the beginning. We met on Tinder. We talked for hours at night. She would, you know, she just really fed into everything that was bothering me. I just came out of a bad relationship. I was, you know, I was in the middle of a divorce. I wasn't in a very good headspace, and I didn't even have my own place anymore, which was because of the divorce, and I was actually moving back in with my grandmother. So, you know, she was very, very loving, very caring, and just hit on stuff that I needed someone to hit on, like to get in my heart. She tugged at my heartstrings. She knew that I missed my stepson of my previous marriage, and she knew how much he meant to me, and she just played on that because she had a little boy. And she definitely used that to get me. You know, and I was also beginning my transition. I had started transitioning June 2019. Then me and my ex-wife got divorced. I met her February on Tinder. We started talking, texting, like I said, and I told her, you know, she actually knew me as my dead name, but she actually helped me, you know, learn what I thought she was doing, was learning who I was, learning, you know, what I wanted out of life, and who I really was down deep inside. But she really played on those vulnerabilities because I am a trans man, and she knew what I was going through. And, you know, that's going to be in another episode because I don't think I can talk about that right now. But there was a lot more to that. And then all of a sudden, we hadn't met, and I told her, like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to meet you. I've got to meet you. I've got to meet you. So we finally met a year later, at a hotel, in, let me see, Gadsden, Alabama. I think that was in another episode of somebody else. We met there. We didn't have anything go on at all. We literally just sat, talked, cuddled. That was it. And, you know, she was like, oh, you're so amazing. You know, she told me everything I needed to hear. And I had been waiting a year to meet her. So we meet, we start, you know, talking more, blah, 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 blah. And then she kind of just stopped talking to me. We wasn't talking as much. I guess she was busy with everything else. I don't know. But I then got I started talking to somebody else because we were not official at all. And I started talking to somebody else. It was somebody that, you know, understood me. Same thing, you know, but, you know, this person is real. We had a fine relationship. We did go our separate ways, and guess who was there right when that happened? Taylor. A little bit, I guess she was busy with other things. But come to find out, the day that we met in Gadsden, she was actually pregnant with the second kid, but I knew nothing about it. Because, well, that part doesn't even matter. I knew nothing about it because, you couldn't really tell. But anyway, because she wasn't very far along at all. Well, then she kind of vanishes. She doesn't talk to me for a while at all. Like, she just kind of, boop, I don't know where it gone. So she finally comes back around and says, hey, I just wanted to talk to you about some things. I just need you to know that I'm pregnant. I've talked to my therapist, and they really want you to know about it because they know how much that I care about you and love you, and they just think that you would be a good support system. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. Definitely. And, you know, it took me a minute to actually comprehend everything, but of course I was there because I loved her. I loved the oldest kid. I hadn't even got to meet the oldest kid yet, but the way she sent pictures, talked about him, like, she knows how to manipulate people into exactly how she wants them to feel. Anyway, so yeah, she's pregnant. And then of course I began to send money, because she was a single mom. She was about to be a single mom of 2 now. And, you know, the dad was just horrible. He wasn't paying child support. He refused to sign the divorce papers. There was just all kind of stuff. Oh, he also apparently slashed her tires, or she said, I think it's him, you know, multiple times. And I sent her multiple times money for tires that he had slashed. And yes, that should have been a red flag, but when you love somebody so much, you just don't see that. You don't see that they could hurt you the way she has hurt me and the way that she has manipulated me. Like I said, I'm definitely going to do a part 4. You know, if you will, in the comments, I would say, you know, direct message me, but there's a lot of people direct messaging me, and it's a lot. So I definitely appreciate everybody, for real. And it's not that I'm ignoring you, like I said, but if you will, you know, put in the comments what in the 4th video you may want to know about, any questions you may have about this whole story. I'll be glad to explain it top to bottom. Like I said, I'm going to. It's just going to take me a while, but definitely, you know, let me know what you want to hear about in the comments, because I want to make sure that people are getting every side of the story that they want, so that nobody's confused anymore. Because this is not a catfish. This is somebody who has manipulated people over and over and over and over and over again. But yeah, yeah. This is part 4 of my Taylor Duggar series. The last time we left off, we were talking about how I hadn't met the kids and the baby. She just had gotten pregnant and all that, and so she had the baby in September, and I want to say it was around November 2021. Yeah, 2021, because I'm pretty sure that's when she had the youngest baby, or the middle baby. But so we met in, I think, Gaston again. Don't quote me on that. It's been a long couple of days. And I'm trying to remember everything. But we met. We went to like a museum for kids. And I remember distinctly that the oldest had to go to the bathroom. And she was like, hey, can you watch the baby? And she had her, you know, out in her arms, and she said, here, can you hold her and watch her and just feed her? And I said, sure. I was like, I'm a little nervous though. She's like, don't be nervous, you got this. I was like, okay. So when she put the baby in my arms, because she told me, you know, everything that had happened with this baby and how the baby came about, you know, she was just so grateful to have somebody like me that was going to be there and step up and be a great dad. And that's what I've always wanted to hear, because, you know, like I mentioned before, I am trans, and that's what I always wanted, is, you know, somebody to call me a great dad and just have a family and be what society calls normal. But anyway, so she put her in my arms, and it was like, I've never felt that feeling before. And I know I wasn't there the exact day she was born, but Taylor was messaging me throughout the whole thing, letting me know, you know, what was going on, how much she was in all this. Like, just everything. And then she finally texted me at like 9 something that morning and was like, hey, we've got ourselves a healthy baby girl. I can't wait for you to meet her. And I was ecstatic because I just got out of a divorce, that I had a kid that I loved for 7 years, and I didn't get to see him anymore. And I was there through a lot with him. Was it easy? No, but me and him became very close, and she knew this, and she knew I was missing him. She knew how I felt. But anyway, so I'm holding the baby and I just fall in love. Like, it's a feeling I can't explain. It's just, I can't. But she came back out, or actually she texted me and said, you know, I can't wait until, you know, we become a family and you're there for them and you're just gonna be such a great dad. And she's like, I just love looking at you holding her like that. And I was like, wow, this girl's amazing. I love her kids. I love everything about her. She understands my struggles with being transgender. She understands, like, everything. And to me, it felt like she was going to be my best friend, my soulmate. Like, it wasn't something I was taking, you know, lightly. It was something that I was very, very invested in, and not just with money. Emotions. Very strong emotions. Very strong emotions, and I can't even begin to really talk about that because I haven't dealt with that. I haven't dealt with, you know, all this being not even true, because things that she told me, I still catch myself thinking about. Like, oh, well, I can't wait for them to move. Oh, wait, they're not moving up here. You're never going to get to see the kids again. And that is probably what breaks my heart the most. Because I love them unconditionally, just like I loved Taylor Duggar unconditionally. But so, you know, we meet a couple more times. The kids, they come to my house in Chattanooga, you know, with my roommates and stuff, and we go to the aquarium. I got us passes all year for the aquarium. I actually got the envelope in there that says my name and her name on there, and they came to my address. And I got 5 kids passes just in case she wanted to, you know, bring somebody else that she was babysitting or whatever. But yeah, so she knew exactly what I wanted out of my life. She knew my weaknesses. She knew my strengths. She knew everything there is to know about me. And she used all those and my vulnerabilities to drag me into this fantasy that she knew I wanted with her and the babies and just this home. They were my home. They were my absolute home. And I've lost that. So it's taken me a while to talk about it. And I need her to know if she's out there. We need answers, and it's just not fair that you're not giving it to us. So if you're watching, you know, we don't hate you. We just want answers, and I think that's it for today, but y'all have a great night.
So I was going to remain anonymous, but with everything coming out, I think it's only right for me to share my side of the story as the girlfriend of 7 months. So here's my Taylor Duggar story. This is going to be like the Cliff Notes version, but basically we met on Bumble in September, talked for a little while. She would say that she wanted to meet up, and anytime I would make plans, it was constantly she was canceling, whether it was because she didn't have anybody to watch the kids, something was messing up with her truck, or she was sick, some kind of illness. So finally she FaceTimed me and said she wanted to meet in Gadsden. So I got in the car and I drove to Gadsden, and I met her and her daughter. there, and we spent a few hours together hanging out, and had a great time, and then left on a good note. Continued to talk. In that time, I had asked her to be my girlfriend after that, and we were still trying to make plans to see each other. So we made plans here and there, again, constantly canceling for whatever reason she came up with. And then finally she came to town with both of the kids, and we went to the zoo and the McWane Center together with the 4 of us. We had a great time, the kids had a great time, and left looking forward to the next time we would get to spend time together. So for the next 2 or 3 months, anytime we would make plans, she would bail on me. And then come January, the first week of January, I took a week off of work, unpaid, to go and help her with the kids, because she had told me how exhausted she was being a single mom, and she just needed help. And so I told her, I said, you know, I'll come there, I'll take a week off and I'll come there and help you with the kids. And she said that she would give me the money that I would miss out on work. Well, on my way there, she told me to turn around and go home because there was something going on with her dad that she just couldn't handle me being there. So I turned around and went home. And at that point, my friend reached out to some people that she knew in the same town as Taylor, and they said, yes, we know her. She has a boyfriend that she's been dating for 4 years with named blank. And so I asked her about it, and she said, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know anybody by that name, and it's offensive to me that someone would accuse me of having a boyfriend because I haven't willingly been with a man in 5 years. So as much as I didn't believe her, I told her I did, just for the sake of argument. And I didn't want to continue to fight that battle. And then come February, she was in and out of the hospital, and I had her location at this point, so like she was going to the hospital, and but like would never stay the night like she said she was supposed to, until there was 1 or 2 nights that she stayed in like the middle of February or something like that. I don't remember exactly when. So she told me that was because her white blood cell count was so off or something like that, that her doctors made her stay there. So then a couple weeks after that, she finally let me come to town, but would not let me stay at her house. She put me in a hotel for the night, and which again I thought was very sketchy. But she said that it was because her dad was staying with her at the time and that he didn't want people at the house. So we had a very tense day spending time together, which is where this photo is from, where we hardly talked, and when we did, it was very short answers because we were both pretty irritated about the situation. I don't know why she was, but I was very irritated because I knew I was being lied to at that point. But I didn't end things yet. I don't really have a good reason why I didn't. I just didn't. So then a few weeks later, she came back to town and we went to the Zach Bryan concert together. And had a good time there, and she drove back home that night because she had to go get her daughter from the sitter. At least that's what she said. And then a couple weeks after that, we were supposed to go to an event in Athens, Georgia together, but she canceled on me day of because her son wanted to have a mommy and me day, is what she told me. And so, of course, knowing that being a parent comes first, I respected that, and I was fine with that. So then, fast forward to this past Monday. I woke up to a text that she had the worst night of her life, and I asked her why, and she said that someone on TikTok was blackmailing her. So, of course, me being nosy, I went on to TikTok, and I looked up her name to see what she was talking about. And the video was right there, and it had receipts, text messages, Snapchats, everything. Taylor told me that this girl was lying. She didn't know who this girl was. And granted, I'm not dumb, so I asked a whole bunch of questions. I wanted an explanation as to who this girl was, how she got her information, why you? Why are you just a random target? Or because that doesn't make any sense to me. She stayed on the train of this girl. I don't know this girl. Never spoken to this girl, but and all of this is fake. So my friend reached out to the creator of the video and said, hey, my friend is also dating Taylor Duggar. So then part 2 came out, and I got a phone call practically yelling at me saying, did you tell your friend about this video? And then by the end of the phone call, it was, you and her can both expect to hear from my lawyer. So yes, I was very hesitant to come forward with my story. That's why I asked to remain anonymous. However, I was given her information, and when we started talking on Snapchat, I recognized the Snapchat username because Taylor had been messaging her all night that we were at the Zach Bryan concert. So then we continued talking about everything, and I obviously ended things with Taylor, and she's still trying to convince me that it's not real. And then I get a phone call Tuesday night that there is actually a boyfriend of 4 years. We just had the name wrong. So he has now come out with a part 1 to his side of the story. Well, then we get a phone call. Somebody gets in touch with us last night that tells us that, oh, by the way, those few days that she was in the hospital in February, she was having a baby by her ex-husband. They were never divorced. They still live together. He is actually a really great guy and has never laid a hand on her, no matter what she says. And the first daughter, the older daughter now, because she now has 2, is not actually a product of rape like she said that she was. And that Taylor's actually pretty healthy. So any story that she told us about her not being well was a lie. So that's my side of the story. And Taylor, I know you're going to see this because people are going to show it to you. So, hey, boo.
Okay, so I was scrolling on TikTok earlier and came across this video of this girl named Taylor. Anyways, to find out, she's been, I guess, dating a bunch of people. Then I seen pictures of her and realized that she is the same girl that my friend Tabby has been dating for the past 2 damn months. Okay? Yeah. All right. Anyways, I call Tabby and I tell her, I'm like, look, there's these videos of Taylor on TikTok that you need to see. She's like, I've already seen them. And anyways, proceeded to tell me that someone's already showed them to her. And I'm glad they did. Okay, This girl is young. She is. This is her first relationship. I mean, she's a very nice girl. She don't have a lot of life experiences. She was raised sheltered. So it's kind of easy to take advantage of her, okay? Which makes me feel bad because she's a good person. But anyways, so I asked her if she would make a TikTok. And, you know, letting her people know that what happened. And she doesn't want to. She doesn't, you know, want to embarrass her mom and him or anything like that. I mean, she's real into church and stuff like that. She doesn't want to be an embarrassment. That's fine. I understand. But I'm going to make a TikTok for her. Okay? So, here's what she done. She talked to the sheriff's department, our local sheriff's department. Mind you, we live in southern Illinois, okay? Illinois is far from Georgia. But talked to local sheriff's department. The sheriff's officer informed her, like, he just told her the best thing she can do since she has been sending her money, like almost $7,000, since she's been sending her money to go to the courthouse on Monday and talk to the state's attorney to see about filing charges, to see if there's something that they can do to prosecute this girl and stop her from doing it to other people. This, people, is low, okay? Very low. Not just to her husband, not just to that lady's husband. She is married with kids. She should not be doing this to anybody. You don't fuck with people's feelings. That is ridiculous. I don't know, like, I don't know anything about the girl, but I do know that if you're talking to someone named Taylor from Georgia, I don't care what state you live in the United States, because apparently she gets around. Hell, it may even be China and Japan. But the point of it is, just delete her off shit and cut your losses and go about your business, because it's probably something you don't want to get into a mess to. Because this is just horrible. Ridiculous.
I don't know how many parts this will end up being, but I met Taylor Duggar in 2020. She, we didn't really meet at first because of COVID, and nobody really wanted to catch that, and we really didn't know much about it until further along. But I did end up meeting her. The first time I met her, she brought her family. Now I know her family to Newnan, and they all stayed at her brother-in-law's house. And at the time, she told me that she was separated, going through a divorce, and that they had been separated for quite some time. And so she talked to him on the phone, and I thought it was kind of weird, but, you know, they had a kid together, so I just let it go. Like, you know, that's how it should be. You know, you do whatever's best for your kid. Dating wise, like, there was always something, like, when we would plan to meet up, but we did meet up several times. She spent the night over at my house. She spent weekends. She brought her kid. She brought her cousin, who she called her daughter. And so they would stay at my house, but it wasn't a frequent thing. It was frequent enough that it didn't raise questions, but did raise questions. And that's ultimately why we didn't continue our relationship, was because it was always canceling on something. There was always problems. She was always sick. The kids were always sick. Her car was always breaking down. And ultimately we ended up breaking up, and I got back with an ex, and who ultimately I ended up getting married to, and went into the Air Force. I don't know how many parts this will end up being, but I met Taylor Duggar in 2020. We didn't really meet at first because of COVID, and nobody really wanted to catch that, and we really didn't know much about it until further along. But I did end up meeting her. The first time I met her, she brought her family. Now I know her family to Noonan, and they all stayed at her brother-in-law's house. And at the time, she told me that she was separated, going through a divorce. So, I guess part 2. I just want to talk about money. So, ultimately, I ended up looking through my bank accounts the last 2 days. I did end up sending her some money on Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I paid her water bill several times so that the kids, because that was always, well, I don't know how I'm going to keep the kids in a house that doesn't have water or power. So I would pay the water bill. I paid the power bill a few times, which is kind of why I don't know how the husband would not know, because she would give me the log-ons and I would just go on and pay. I would have groceries delivered, DoorDash delivered because she was always sick. So I'd send her food because I lived about an hour and a half from her. I gave her money for her car insurance. I gave her money for her, because her truck was going to be repoed at one time, because at the time her separated husband had wiped out her bank account and was just messing with her finances, according to her. So I felt the need that we were dating, so here, let me help you out. And I had met her, so it's like I knew she's a real person. I'd met the kid, and I think that was like the biggest thing, is like she always would say, oh, I need this for the kids, or I need that, or I don't have enough money for Christmas or birthdays, and I'd send her money, or just send her money to go get her toes done, because she's a hardworking single mom and she didn't have the money to do self-care things. So yeah, I feel really dumb for that. So this part might be broken up into 2 videos to keep it at the 3 minutes, but so after we broke up and I got married, I heard from Taylor on and off for a little bit. It wasn't until 2022, beginning of the year, like February-ish, that she reached back out to me, that we actually started talking again. And I know that this is not going to shine me in a positive light, but I think it's important for the story. I'm an honest person and I'm not going to hide anything. Was still married to, at that time. And I did start talking to Taylor again in an intimate way. We met up. She talked to me about SJ being the product of SA, and I connected to her and told her about my SA experience and how I couldn't really talk to my wife at the time about that, and also talked to her about problems with my wife at the time and how we weren't getting along and we were having issues financially, emotionally, and I talked to her about how I felt like just that, and we again connected about how she talked about how abusive her ex was, and we just connected on that level. I'm not really proud of that, but that's how we reconnected in 2022. And that went on. We met in LaGrange, Georgia, and continued to talk throughout 2022. My now ex-wife found out about our text messages and saw our conversations, and that really kind of blew up that marriage. And I did have to deal with that, and that is something that I still have to deal with and make amends with, and live with the fact that that happened. Yeah. So this part might be broken up into 2 videos to keep it at the 3 minutes, but so after we broke up and I got married, I heard from Taylor on and off for a little bit. It wasn't until 2022, beginning of the year, like February-ish, that she reached back out to me, that we actually started talking again. And I know that this is not going to... And just to add to that, so when my marriage blew up and ended up getting a divorce, I thought I was going to continue with Taylor. I was still talking to Taylor, and I just had more and more questions about this divorce that she had been going through the whole time I had known her. So I started looking into that. I looked up on the public websites to see if there was a divorce decree, because she kept telling me that it was worked out, that, you know, they were fighting over kids, and that was all that was left was the custody agreements. So I, you know, asked questions, and she finally gave me an answer, was that they weren't divorced because he never filed the marriage certificate, so they didn't need to get divorced. They were never legally married, is what she told me. I know that today that's not true. So at that point, I just kind of told her, you know, this isn't going to work for me. I don't think that we should see each other. You know, there's just too much here. It's just not a lot of answers. And I told her that we could stay friends. And so we did stay friends up until, I think it was Friday when all this came out. I started asking her about it. And of course, her response was, I'm not mentally in the right place to talk about this. I'll give you answers. You know, I have an attorney. They're working on this, and we're going to get it taken care of. And so, yeah. That didn't sit well with me, and then all of a sudden she dropped off of social media. So I'm open to hear her side of the story, but you know, there's so many of us, it just seems more logical that she's made the whole thing up. And just for the kids, I knew that the first child was by her husband. Knew the second child was a product of SA, which I've talked to family members. I know that's not the case, and it's really tragic and really horrible that she said that, because I have that experience, and then to use it as a way to kind of reconnect with somebody is really messed up. And then the third child, I knew she was pregnant. I knew she was having a baby because I'm currently trying to get pregnant. And we actually talked about how she did it with her donor and like talked about how she found her donor. She told me that it was her gay best friend who lived in Chattanooga, which I now know that Braden. I cannot imagine why somebody would think that that was okay. That really blows my mind. Because I am in the community, I know what it takes to get pregnant. I know how hard it is. Like, you want kids, and for someone to, first off, use that. Second off, say that they got pregnant by somebody who wants kids, loves kids. To me, seems like a great guy. But to then go around telling, at least me, that that's how she got pregnant, that's an even newer low for me to hear. It's just really insane to me that somebody can do all of this and really have so little respect for humans to even at least say I'm sorry, or anything she says is not, we're not going to believe it, but an apology of some sort. Like, how do you treat other human beings like this is beyond me.
I just want to put out there that I don't condone anyone posting her full name, address, phone number, even the city that she lives in. I don't believe that that should be shared on the internet. I believe that enough people in her town know her, and I'm sure she's aware of these videos. I don't condone harassing her or anything like that. She's either going to or not going to feel bad about this, and that's on her. I don't condone the internet going out and dealing with this in internet ways.
I wouldn't really consider this an update, but I've been reading some of the comments and stuff like that, and I did want to point out that since the ending of my relationship with Taylor and us becoming friends, not that I would really call her a friend at this point, I did end up meeting an amazing woman, and we got married, and she has 5 kids. And I think that that's one of the things that I'm struggling with the most is I could never imagine putting those kids in that situation where, like, just letting them meet so many people, which the people I have talked to are great people, caring, and just really didn't really deserve any of this. But at the same time, like, I couldn't imagine putting my kids through that and the confusion and stuff like that too. And also, I was actually supposed to meet Taylor about, I think it was like the weekend of March 14th or 15th. She was actually supposed to meet up with us, my wife and our 2 littles, so that her kids could play with our kids and just hang out and stuff. But come to find out, she wasn't even down here, and she lied to me the whole time and made up this whole story about needing a breast pump, and ended up having to go to the emergency room. And we actually offered to watch the kids for her, and they weren't even here, so I don't even know that she actually ended up going to the hospital for that. I don't really know what the story with that ended up being. It was probably just an excuse that she really wasn't in Florida. So, but I did want to update, like, and be very clear, like, I have met someone who I love dearly, and I love her kids, our kids, and yeah, I'm struggling with the lies mostly, but yeah.
Okay, this is probably gonna be multiple parts because I don't want to make just like one long video and bore everybody. This is gonna be my Taylor Duggar story. I know I came forward late. I didn't want to come forward at first. Like, at first I saw Arizona's video and I was like, oh, that's just one person. Like, it was just a bad relationship. And then I saw Katie's, and then I saw Braden's, and then I saw some of the girl who was like speaking for her friend, and realized that it was a lot of people, and you cannot do that to people. So yeah, let's get into it. I met Taylor in June of 2022. So the weekend of the 24th to the 26th, my hometown had our first Pride, and everybody was so excited about it. So I went with my aunt and her boyfriend. We had a blast. Afterwards, I had made like a Pride recap video, and I guess it popped up on Taylor's For You page. So she sent me a message on TikTok, and she was like, hey, you know, I'm from your hometown. I saw you at Pride. I wanted to say something. We were behind you. You looked cute, whatever. And our conversations just kept going from there. So we had talked all night, and then we had talked on TikTok the next day. And I was like, you know, do you want to text me or use Snapchat? So it's still kind of private, but not giving your number out. So we started talking on Snapchat, and then we shared numbers, and we just kept texting. So I was supposed to go out with her on a Saturday, and I had woke up that morning, and I kind of had a headache. So my daddy cooked breakfast. I ate breakfast with my folks, and I didn't feel good. So I came in here to take a nap, and was, you know, going to get up to get ready. And I guess about 1 o'clock, my dad woke me up, and I couldn't breathe. I was so sick. So run off to, you know, urgent care. I had COVID, so I had to cancel with her. I was like, I called her or texted her, and I was like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Like, we cannot go to the movies. I have COVID. And she's like, okay. She's like, I understand. That whole week, she was great. Like, she texted me, you know, throughout the day, like, do you need anything? Do you need, like, Gatorade delivered to your house? Do you need food? I'll DoorDash you something. And, I mean, she stayed consistent. So when I got better that following week after I had quarantine, we met up. And we met at the park that they did Pride at. And we sat in her vehicle, and we talked. And then the cops showed up. And they were like, hey, the sun went down. Like, you got to leave. You can't be here. So then we left and went to Walmart. And we stayed in Walmart's parking lot until, like, 2:30, 3 o'clock that morning, just talking. And that was, yeah, I mean, I kissed her that night. So, everything was going great. So, like, I asked her, I was like, you know, do you want to come to my house tomorrow? So she did. So the next day, she came to the house and met my mom. He wanted his 5 seconds of fame. So, to pick up where we left off, Taylor had came over to meet my mom, and we came in my room and watched the first, maybe the second episode of L Word Generation Q, because we wanted to start that series, because like that season had just came out. So we watched it, and then we went and sat on the porch with my mom for like 2 or 3 hours. Like, it was late. It was like well after 1 when Taylor left. And so I brought up the kids, and I was like, I don't want you to feel pressured. Like, whenever you feel comfortable, you know, bring them over. So the next day, Taylor brought them over. And at the time, she just had the 2. So she brought them over, and I had my godson, who lived down the street from me, come up. And her son and my godson clicked like they were the best of friends. And everybody loved her daughter. And everybody got attached very quickly. I got attached very quickly. And it just kind of went from there. I mean, like, every day after school, Taylor was bringing her kids over, and they were having play dates, and things were great. Like, I was literally seeing her every single day. And then I went to her house a couple of times because, let's say one time I just went over there, and then one time I went over there to pick her up, or to ride with her, because me, her, and our cousin, we were going somewhere. I don't even remember where we were going. But we were going somewhere. It's like we were just, like, going out shopping. So, like, I went to her house, went inside her house, sat on her couch, you know. And then when we came back, like, I came back and me, her, and the kids chilled in the house for a minute. And, you know, before I left. Because I left so that she could get the kids a bath and get them in bed for school. But I literally saw her every day for months. Things did not change and get crazy until around the end of September. Well, let me go back. We started talking in June. We officially started dating July 12th of 2022. So we were, you know, we were actually girlfriend and girlfriend. Like, I saw her every day, you know. But the end of September 2022, things started to get a little hard. And it wasn't her fault necessarily, but things started getting a little weird then. Okay, September hits. We were on a date, or heading to a date, and she gets a phone call from her dad's work, said that they had a call, and then was to him, they thought that he had a medical emergency. So she goes to the hospital, deals with that, drops him back off at home. And she's so stressed out and upset, she comes over that night, and we were originally just supposed to talk, and she was going to leave. But she wound up crying herself to sleep. So I sat up in bed, watched TikTok, just so that I could make sure she was okay. And then she had to leave at like 4 o'clock that morning because she was going to have to go to her aunt's house that her dad lived with and help make sure that his room was cleaned out and rearranged and handicap accessible so that he could get up in there. So, understandable. And I went and picked up a couple of things from Home Depot for her. I had to go pick up like a new sink faucet fixture for her. But I saw her. Like, we still met up. We went shopping together. She went and had a lash appointment at one point to make herself feel better. And I watched the kids for 2 hours. Like, she brought them over here and they stayed with me. So, like, we still saw each other for, like, you know, dinner. I saw the kids. We went to, like, the next town over to the outlet mall to go shopping. And probably about 2 weeks into it, that's when things started getting a little weird. She was stressed out because, you know, she's running back and forth to her dad's doctor's appointments, and he's seeing a specialist. So, like, you're going out of town for this. And it got hard. And then, I guess in October, I stopped seeing her. And then my parents had decided that we were going to do a last-minute family vacation because I was about to have a hysterectomy. And they knew that I wouldn't want to do it later after my hysterectomy. So we decided we're going to go ahead and go to Gatlinburg before. That way I can still walk around and do everything. So we went to Dollywood, whatever, like 3 or 4 days before she finally decided that she was going to go. So I picked her up. And me, her, and the kids, we drove in my car to Gatlinburg. And, I mean, it was fine. There was, you know, she was happy to see me. The kids were happy to see me. I didn't think nothing of it. Okay, so we go on vacation. We go to Gatlinburg. We spent one whole day at Dollywood where her kids rode the rides with my dad, and she rode rides with my dad, and we spent all day at Dollywood. I pushed her baby girl in the stroller. Like, it was a great family trip, you know? Like, I was there with my partner and her kids. Like, you know, it was great. I loved them kids like they were my own. My family enjoyed it. And at one point, we did, like, an escape room, and it was, like, me, my sister, her friend, my aunt, her boyfriend, and then Taylor. So it was like an adult escape room. So obviously her son couldn't go. So my dad took him to the arcade, and my mom watched her daughter. And it was fine. Like, it was an amazing trip. It was a great vacation. Like, there was nothing wrong. Come back from Gatlinburg, I take her home, and I did not see her again until the night before I had my hysterectomy. She was supposed to come spend all day with me the day before my surgery. And there was always an excuse why she was running late, why she couldn't make it. And then she finally got here somewhere between 9:30 and 10 o'clock that night. She stayed the night. I could not sleep. I would never forget this feeling. I could not freaking sleep. So we had to be up at 3 that morning to get ready because I had to be at the hospital at 5. And so we get to the hospital. It's me, Taylor, and my mom. And, you know, I go back, obviously, to get ready for my surgery. And then Taylor and my mom come in. And I didn't think it was weird at the time, but I mean, obviously now I should have realized that should have been my first sign. But when they get ready to tell Taylor and my mom that to leave, that they're going to wheel me back, my mom obviously gives me a hug and tells me she loves me. And Taylor tells me she loves me, but she doesn't, like, hug me or kiss me or anything. Which, you know, I guess I should have took that as a sign, and I didn't. So they wheeled me back. I had my surgery. I come out of surgery, and they placed me in the room, and Taylor and my mom were there. And then this is where everything completely freaking changes. And I was so stupid. I don't know if it's just because my hormones are so crazy, like I wasn't able to see it. But this is where everything changes. Our entire relationship. And this is where I start getting pushed to my breaking point. Okay, so I come out of surgery for my hysterectomy, and I'm being wheeled into the room, and Taylor and my mom are there. And we didn't want my mom to stay at the hospital because my mom's got a bad heart. We were worried about COVID. Because at the time, my hometown, our COVID rate was still, like, super high. And, like, I still had to have surgery, so whatever, I had no choice but to be there. So my mom leaves. We were under the impression that Taylor was going to stay all night with me because I had to stay at least one night and go home the next night because they actually had to move my bladder out of the way. So they had to make sure that I could empty my bladder on my own and, like, completely empty it. So after my mom leaves, Taylor stays somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. The nurse comes in and makes me walk the hallway because that's how you get the gas pain so that you can actually, like, pass the gas. And Taylor walked with us. And then when we got back in the room, she stayed for a minute. And she's like, I gotta go. James says, my son needs me. And I was like, okay, like, go take care of the kids. Like, you know, for whatever reason, James couldn't watch the kids the rest of the night. So she leaves me alone in the hospital. And then I assumed that the next morning when I got home, she would come over. Nope. I saw her, I think I want to say a week out from surgery. And she came over one time. And we got in bed, which was so freaking painful because I was sleeping in a recliner at this point. We got in bed and we kind of talked. But it was weird. Like, she wouldn't look at me. You know, like, she would make eye contact. So then she leaves. And I don't see her again until February. And I had ordered her kids Christmas presents, and she didn't even bring them over for Christmas. And I couldn't go anywhere until then because, obviously, you know, I just had surgery. And it's like anywhere from an 8 to 12-week healing process. So I didn't see them for Christmas. And then in February, marked 3 years that I had lost my papa, who was my everything. So I wanted to go to the cemetery on the day that we buried him, but I didn't want to go alone. So, like, I'd asked her, like, you know, will you go with me? Like, obviously my hormones are crazy because I just had a hysterectomy. Like, they're so unbalanced. Like, I'm crying over literally every freaking thing. So I didn't want to go and be alone. And I asked her, like, are you gonna go with me? And then she's like, yeah. But then there was always an excuse like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. You know, I got a lot going on. But come the day of, she finally shows up. But it is awkward. You could tell she wanted to be anywhere else but there. Okay, so it's February 2023. She shows up at the cemetery. And she's there. But you could tell she wanted to be anywhere else. She wouldn't look at me. Honestly, I would have been her off had she not went. So, from February to July of 2023, I saw her a couple of times for like 5 minutes. She wouldn't come to the house, but she would let me meet her in the parking lot because I would buy stuff for the kids. Like at one point, some of her son's pants became high waters because I guess he hit a little growth spurt. So I went and bought him some blue jeans, and I found some really cute like spring and summer clothes, and so I met her, gave them to him. I would see her for like 5-10 minutes in the Walmart parking lot so I could see the kids. And at this time, we were arguing because I'm asking her to come over, and she is saying that her mental health is taking a hit, which, disclaimer, I get it. I'm all about mental health awareness, like, that's fine. But it's funny that it only started when it's convenient for her. And I was having really bad body dysmorphia because of the scars. Like, I had completely turned black down here from like all the internal bleeding and everything, and my hormones were crazy, so like I was hating my body, everything was changing, like it messes with you. And all I wanted was my partner to tell me that I still look good and that they still wanted me and that they were still attracted to me, and that never happened. So she's telling me that her mental health's taking a hit, and that's why she can't come over, that she's depressed, which I understand. So they just kept going on and kept going on. And then finally, July 11th, which was a day before what was supposed to be our year, I texted her and I said, I'm not happy. I was so mentally checked out at this point. And I was like, I cannot do this with you anymore. In the back of my mind, I thought she would fight. That was my thought process, that she still loves you, she's gonna fight for you. No. All she said was, okay. 2 letters, okay. And then a couple hours later, she texted me and said, 1 day before a year, LOL. And that was it. We didn't talk for a long time. We really didn't start talking until recently. We talked about meeting up because obviously I wanted to see the kids again. And every time we had planned it, there was always something. There was always a reason why. So I ended things. I was unhappy. I was unhappy not seeing the person that I'm supposed to be with. I didn't feel important. I didn't feel valued. I shouldn't have to beg you to want to spend time with me. So yeah, we dated for almost a year. I dumped her a day before what was supposed to be a year. But the next video, I'm gonna put out my receipts and stuff, so like, I'm not just making up my story. Like, but yeah, that's my Taylor Duggar story. It started out good, it went to crap, and now here we all are. Okay, so we're gonna play around and so we can figure out this green screen things. So I'll show you a couple of receipts. I'll show you some pictures to, so that you can see, like, we literally dated, we did these things. And yeah. And then I'll answer a few questions that are, like, the most common questions that I've seen. Okay, so here's, like, the original TikTok message that, like, got everything started. So I didn't think nothing about it. We just kept talking from this point. This is the night that she met my mom. Like, she was here. It's crazy. Let's see what else I got. This is us shopping. Like, obviously I had a blackout with the baby. But we're shopping in town. In my hometown. She went to the fair with us. That's us at the fair. Here's another time that she was at the house getting ready to leave. Here's one picture from Gatlinburg. We were on the train at Dollywood. So obviously I had to black out the kids. This was supposed to be like our family photo. So obviously the kids are blacked out. At Dollywood. In October. And yes, just like everybody else, I too sent her money. So here we go. Look at this. You know, I put what it was for. There's the amount. Here's another one. There's the amounts. Ooh, we got more. Actually, there's like 8 screenshots of this. I think altogether it's like $3,600. Like, I'm an idiot. Now I know that I'm an idiot. But yeah. So, to ask some of the most common questions. Did I think the husband was in on it? No, I don't. She told me that her and James were separated and actually showed me separation papers because I didn't believe it. So, the papers looked legit. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. But they look legit. So, no. I don't think James was in on it. But they didn't live together. Or it didn't look like they lived together. Because at the time that we dated, her cousin lived with her. And so... And, like, now I know her dad lives with her because of this medical emergency that he had. So, no. I don't think James was in on it at all. And now I'm starting to believe that he's not the POS dad that she made him out to be and claimed that he beat her. I don't believe that now. But no, I don't think he's in it. What made us attracted to her or like her? She was sweet. In the beginning, it was great. Like, she was here every day. You know, she was sweet. She came over and she made you feel important. We're not all dumb. I think we were all blinded by the fact that we wanted someone to care for us. This message is for Taylor. I cannot speak on how everybody else feels. I can only speak for how I feel. I do not hate you. I don't have the energy. I don't have it in me. And God would punish me if I spent most of my time hating someone. So I do not hate you. I have no feelings for you. But I'm hurt. To find out that an entire year of my life was a lie. I feel betrayed. I feel bad for whoever I'm with after this because they are going to have to work so hard to show me that I can trust them. And it's not fair to them. You need help. You need professional help. Because this is not okay. You don't do this to people. You know, we were in a live last night, and I've talked to Taylor and Heidi and Katie in Arizona and Braden, and we are nice people. Like, we sat there and we laughed about this trauma together, and we were making jokes, and we were having a good time together. We are good people. We did not deserve this. The person that I dated, I never would have thought was a horrible person. But the person that I know that you are now, you are a horrible person. That you can prey on people like this and take us and use us for your benefit. I pray that you get help. And I pray that when your kids get older, they never ever have to look your name up and see this. Because they don't deserve to know that their mother was this kind of person. You are horrible. You don't do this stuff to people. You need help. Professional help. And I pray to God you get it. Because one day you are going to do it to the wrong person. You should be thankful that we all have the sense of humor that we do. And that we're nice, forgiving people. But you need to stop. Whatever happens, if you catch legal charges out of this, you deserve to pay for it. And at the very least, we deserve some damn answers. Stop hiding behind your phone. Stop hiding behind your screen. And answer our damn questions. You owe us that much.
So yeah, and when I say, you know, here are some of her victims' videos, I mean some, because who knows how many more people she has done this to. Already so many have come forward, and it's so sad that she thinks it's okay to take advantage of people like that. That is it for me today. I know I didn't do a lot of talking, but I really just wanted you guys to see what was going on with this whole Taylor Duggar situation. If you have any more info about this, drop it in the comments down below. I will more than likely be doing an update on this, because I think as the days go by and this progresses, we're gonna hear a lot more about Miss Taylor. But that is it for me. I hope you guys had a great start to your week, and stay safe out there. Bye guys.